And we are wrestling with WWE Money in the Bank. It took place last Saturday uh, in Toronto, Ontario, California at the Scotland Bank Arena, which the attendance was
The Nova Scotia Locks Arena, you mean?
the attendance was 19,858. A damn near sellout, I'd say. Pretty
And a half. There was a midget.
okay. Was he wearing a bikini?
Mm.
Um,
Um, you know, I gotta bring up this story first. Cody Rhodes once again comes to the aid of a fan, uh, a handicap fan, who learned apparently all the handicap seating at the Scotiabank Arena had been sold out, and somehow Cody makes it possible for this fan who needed handicap seating to attend Money in the Bank.
right. Just for context, this fan won a competition to get tickets to the event. The tickets that they were giving him were non-handicap. And they told him that they could just refund him the money instead of giving him the tickets. Um, isn't Cody Rhodes like the greatest human being of all time?
I mean, Cody needs to start like being part of Make a Wish, like ASAP. He'll surpass John Cena and Titus O'Neil in no time.
And when he met this fan in person at the event, he put his hand on his head and he said, "The Christ compels you to walk." And God damn it, that man walked again.
And then I told Judas, "What if I gave you 30 pieces of silver?"
And then I told Moses, "What if they let your people go?"
And what if I gave you 10 commandments?
Okay, now we're just getting into the history of the world. Obviously, this show was in Canada, which was a great day for Canada. Therefore, it was a great day for the world.
Canadians in Canada.
Correct. It was a typical how WWE does sell pay-per-views now. What was your thoughts on the show as a whole?
Well, it's funny because the show was advertised to start at 8 Eastern. But no, it started at 7. So I friggin' missed the opening match.
Yeah. You're not wrong with that as well. You're not alone on that as well. I had to go back.
I'm like,
restart it.
Like, oh. I'm like, okay. The right Money in the Bank match went on second. I'll say that. I think once again the women outshine the men. But my God, it's like Drew is back in 2011, or somehow Drew is wrestling during the Attitude Era and Triple H is burying him. But we'll get into that.
Well,
but I mean, good, not great, and main event probably shouldn't have been the main event, but you know what? We'll get into it.
All right, let's get into it. Drew McIntyre defeated Andrade, El Idaho, Carmella Hayes, Law Knight, Jay Uso, and and Chad Gable Stevenson to win the Money in the Bank briefcase in 16 minutes and 30 seconds. Um, it kind of seems like these matches are just copy and paste at this point, but not a lot of, hey, let's do
Yeah,
something interesting or new or something we haven't seen before in a
yeah.
way.
I mean, before Drew was in, this match was exciting for the potential of somebody deserving of having the case. Uh, this, as we'll come to learn, uh, was literally a prop with no meaning behind it. Um, it was essentially just a way to further uh, Punk McIntyre, which didn't really need to happen again.
I disagree. But I'll let you finish your thought on that.
But, did Drew need to try and cash in same night? I wish he hadn't. I wish Punk had stopped him before. But then again, I understand why Punk would wait until he actually cashed in.
Right.
I also wonder why McIntyre would attempt to do what Seth did and make it a triple threat match.
Right. I mean,
Um,
Drew McIntyre had the opportunity to be the first person to cash in a Money on in the Bank uh, briefcase opportunity
he's
on the person that
person who
cashed
cashed
in
in on
on
him.
him. Yeah, that's great storytelling now. Uh,
See, you don't remember when we were talking about the ideas of what haven't they done with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and one of the things I said was, what if the person hasn't cashed in until the next Money in the Bank,
yeah,
and for like an hour we have two men's Money in the Bank holders. That's kind of what it felt like.
I get that.
Um, I still think they just want the statistics. Um, I'm just I don't know, but
So,
it almost feels like Drew Brock his way into the match.
yeah, somewhat. So, the reason I disagree with you that it was wasted because at the time of the match, I did kind of feel the same way. The way that it wasn't wasted is it brings Seth Rollins into the storyline. It
Yes, and then they get around Seth saying won't have to challenge.
right,
And it also makes Priest look like an honorable champion.
and it also, uh, Punk and Rollins didn't really have a reason to feud with each other. It was
Yeah,
primarily for the championship. He had
I
it. He
mean,
wanted it. Um,
yeah, but let's not forget that everybody kind of thought that Punk and Rollins was going to be the first feud back for him.
and it was until
Punk
Drew
got in,
prayed
Punk injured himself in the Royal Rumble.
that that would happen to him. So
I mean, Drew, taking responsibility for his consequences. I mean, all of this over a fucking shirt.
yeah, but
Like,
I think it didn't necessarily have to go that way, but it was a way to get Seth Rollins not liking either individual and setting up a feud for
I mean,
both guys
I
afterwards.
will say, I will say this. I like the fact that Wade Barrett stepped in and tried to get him to calm down after seeing him essentially elbow Adam Pearce. Um, it's it's a nice touch. It's also a possibility. Like, have we really seen the end of Bad News Barrett in the ring? Um, and almost every you know UK superstar that wasn't part of the Judgment Day felt it. They felt what was happening to McIntyre. They sympathized, and that's very rare.
I uh, just going back to the match. The one thing I will say that was pretty interesting that was like wow that happened was when Drew javelined the ladder into Jey Uso. That was just sick.
Yeah, that was that was great, and plus it would kind of inspire. At least I think what I like to think a spot in the women's uh, match that I'm sorry I absolutely love, and we'll get to it because we all know who the real star of the women's match was.
Well, until we get to that match, how many stars do you give this one?
I will give it 3.
I think that's a good number as well. I give it 3 as well. Alright, then we have the Intercontinental Championship match. Sami Zayn defeated Braun Breaker in 13 minutes and 15 seconds to retain the title. I think Sami is doing what he needs to do, and that's make
Yeah,
superstars look like $1,000,000, having
yeah,
really good
and
matches with guys that are a little less than him right now.
yeah. The thing is that they keep mentioning this every time. Sammy looks like the underdog, despite the fact that he's the friggin' champion and
Right.
he's the one with more experience. You know, back in the day, somebody like Braun Breaker would win the Intercontinental title almost immediately because it was a stepping stone to getting him into the world title. I think they absolutely made the right call here with Sammy winning.
I agree.
It shows Braun is vulnerable. He's not he's not invincible. Um, and they break away from their own formula of having the dominant monster capture a title immediately.
I agree. I think that this was well executed. How many stars you give this one?
I don't think Braun suffered from it at all. Uh, I'm gonna give it 4 stars.
I honestly I agree with you. 4 stars. Then we have a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship, or at least it was turned into a triple threat match when Drew McIntyre cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase. Damian Priest defeated Seth freaking Rollins and Drew McIntyre in 14 minutes and 40 seconds. I thought it was a decent match until that wet fart in church.
Well,
And once that botched happened between Priest and Seth, I kind of fell out of it, even though
yeah,
moments later Drew came in and did what he did.
Funny story and a funny statistic here. 50% of Money in the Bank winners named Damien have been successful in cashing in.
Oh, that's correct. It seems like Priest, even though he's like having decent matches, there is maybe that one blemish on each match. The one with McIntyre at Scotland, obviously he almost lost his leg. It didn't have to go that way. He made it work afterwards. And then the botched in this match. It just seems like there's never that perfect moment for Priest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but once one time he does, and then it's gonna be banger after banger for Priest. I would almost guarantee it. I mean, was it was it momentum? Was it gravity? Was it Priest's nerves? Did Seth screw up by accident?
Did the referee maybe fuck up here?
Oh God, that's what it was. Yeah, the referee deciding it was just a 2. If it was involved, if it had something else, I thought this was going to be, how the Judgment Day, helped Priest, retain the title. Like, they paid the referee off. Interesting. No, someone forgot to kick out. Which is like, this was. I don't think this was the referee's fault.
Maybe,
he wasn't.
Maybe it was intentional. Maybe it wasn't. We don't
I
necessarily
mean,
know.
I have a feeling that Drew's music was supposed to hit at the 2 count.
Ooh, okay. That maybe makes more sense.
And that distraction leads to the, the breaking up of the pin, and then tries again, then boom, kick out. And then Drew gets. I don't know if Drew gets screwed. I don't know if this is kind of like great writing for Drew to show how much CM Punk is screwing him over, just how big Punk's influence really is, especially at an event named Money in the Bank.
Right. Who's one of the most successful Money in the Bank people.
Let us not forget Money in the Bank 2011, Punk's last Money in the Bank appearance.
I think he made an appearance at 2012.
No. Nope. Yes. But no, 2013.
Okay.
2013. Heyman turned on him.
That's right.
But
he had the mutton chops.
Yeah. This was the night, Punk's contract expired, and he was walking out with the WWE Championship.
Right.
And the next night, boom, Cult of Personalities. It's, the fact that they didn't really kind of lean into that Money in the Bank really is Punk's match when you think about it.
Kind of, sort of, I would agree.
I mean, before they called it Edge's match. Uh, but Punk still has the distinction of being the only back-to-back winner.
And all of the major matches he's won at this event as well.
So a Money in the Bank streak.
So
You know what?
Yep.
You know what? But before we go on, I do have to say, whoever designed the graphics for this year, absolutely incredible.
You like the little Money in the Bank
Oh,
guys?
oh, I loved it. I love those little heist guys. That was so perfect, so different, so unique.
It's definitely something they haven't done before. I agree
Yeah,
with that.
and I think they need they need the credit. They need to be recognized for the work they did.
How many stars do you give this one?
God, are we pre-McIntyre?
I mean McIntyre is it has to you have to include McIntyre.
Uh, I hate to do this. 2.5.
I was gonna be nice and give it 3, just for the simple fact that everything that happened with McIntyre and Punk somewhat avoided people's dismay from that horrible botch, and that's what I'll say about that. Now we have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Tiffany Stratton defeated Chelsea Green, Io
Wait,
Sky.
no. Chelsea Green.
Yes, correct. Lyra Valkyria, Naomi, and Zoe Starks. In 16 minutes and 50 seconds. This wasn't perfect. There was more than a few botches, if I do say so myself.
You know what?
There were a lot of memorable moments.
Yes.
Mainly
Chelsea.
having to do with Chelsea Green.
Chelsea just try to just knock it down with the ladder. I felt so bad for Chelsea at that point. Oh my God, this poor girl. She's afraid of heights.
I just love the fact that she came out in all Canadian gear, and
Yes.
she was billed as from British Columbia, and Corey Graves was like, there's other parts of Canada. You just can't claim the whole country. She lives like 6 hours away.
I'm surprised Chelsea didn't come out to the mountain. The strong the mountain.
But and I'll admit, when she was up there and she almost had it unclipped, I was cheering.
I was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, come on, Chelsea.
Oh yeah.
Like that is how you get over that. And you know what? There's nobody else is responsible for that. That's all her.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that she is legit afraid of heights.
Really?
She's legit afraid of heights. And while she's been put through tables at normal heights, she's never fallen off a ladder through tables on the outside.
And I mean, those were pretty high ladders to begin with.
Yeah, and that was like a, I don't want to say a rite of passage, well, maybe a rite of passage of Chelsea stepping up and yeah, doing, what we all kind of, what the match needed, and what they needed was a ladder spot of somebody going through the tables. And that I gotta say, she did that perfectly. It was one of the most beautiful table spots I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
Um, and of course the interaction between Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green, who are kind of two, not polar opposites, but almost polar, polar same. Like, okay, Tiffany's a daddy's girl, and Chelsea is just a Karen. It's like Tiff, like it's like Tiffany's a Pokemon and she's waiting to evolve into a Karen. But that like chemistry, I really think Tiffany and Chelsea would work great in a tag team. Uh,
yeah.
I mean, and I do have to say, you know what? I think the right person won. Um, there, uh, Tiffany Stratton she's now teetering on a face turn.
I mean, she has been. The
Uh,
only halt was, that one video she posted on Instagram.
I mean, because remember SummerSlam, Nia Jax and Bailey, but let's not forget Tiffany Stratton has hired Nia Jax. And here's the thing: is that on SmackDown last night, Tiffany had the opportunity. Tiffany had the chance, and she would have done it. She would have been able to do it. Nia stopped her. Like, wait, what are you doing? It's like Tiffany's like, oh no, no, I'm just like, and and, yeah, Corey Graves was like, oh no, she's just going through a run through of you know uh, what she'll need to do when she catches it. I'm like, wow, this is like, and I'm like, I kind of feel bad for Tiffany because it's like she's like, oh no, no, all right, no, I'm not into that. Okay, come on, let's go, let's get out of here. It's like it's like the person it's giving Tiffany humanity.
Which we haven't seen a lot from her.
And that's like that is how Money in the Bank makes somebody's career.
We can. I think. I mean, obviously, the fans have already decided that they like Tiffany Stratton and they're getting on the bandwagon. Um, whether or not being a face will work for Tiffany, it has yet to be seen. But I guess we'll see what happens there. Until we get there, how many stars you give this one?
I'm gonna give this 4 stars.
I will give this 3.5. What I liked, but I can't necessarily overlook so many botches and bad shit that was in this match as well. The good shit was good, but the bad shit was bad as well. Right, and that brings us to our main event, and that is the Bloodline Solo Coca-Cola, um, the the NFT Tamatanga, and the Samoan Werewolf Jacob Fatu. They defeated Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens in 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Um, I didn't think that this was a bad match. It was pretty decent. I'm happy that they're giving Cody Rhodes the same treatment that they gave Roman, and that is, if he's not the first match on the card, he's the last match on the card, which I think needs to be. Unfortunately, I don't think this should have main evented. This should have been the first match out. But everything that happened with Drew, I understand why. Um,
Honestly, I think the women's Money in the Bank match could have ended this pay-per-view.
uh, yeah, I can understand. I can get
I
that.
mean, it would have ended it on such a high note.
Yeah, I don't think
Uh,
anybody was hoping Solo Sikoa was going to win this
yeah,
match.
and,
So,
and again, a typical 6-man tag. There's no stakes.
I mean, they put the stakes in there, but because Solo won the match, he's obviously getting a title match against Cody at SummerSlam.
That's the thing, is that I still can't buy Solo as the new leader of the Bloodline.
I don't think you're supposed to, even though.
I mean,
Um,
last night last night he said, if Roman should come back, let's not remember. Let us not forget. He told Paul Heyman Roman's never coming back. And then, of course, Paul Heyman in his 5 o'clock shadow got put through a table.
yep.
He said when Roman comes back, Roman will acknowledge him as Roman's tribal chief.
Well, he's definitely getting over as a heel, but I don't. Like I said, you're not supposed to believe that he's the tribal chief. Roman is the tribal chief. It's only to get under people's skin and make them cheer more for Roman. Which is just insane that he loses a match and he becomes literally the biggest babyface in the company and he's not even there.
Yeah, which, I mean, it's and when he comes back, it's literally going to be Roman versus the entire Samoan dynasty. And this is when The Rock will literally be the final boss.
Yeah, true. But I mean, that's what I was thinking was gonna be Survivor Series. You have Solo with his bloodline, the Tungans and Jacob, versus Roman and his bloodline, which would be the Usos and Sammy.
That would be if Roman comes back and there's interaction between Roman and Sammy, and Roman actually asks for forgiveness, that's gonna push them to the moon.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna drive the crowd insane.
I don't think he could just out and say I'm sorry.
I know. So, Roman will have to earn it.
It has to be, and I do feel like even though they wronged Sammy so much, Jay is still the hardest to get because of all of the gaslighting he did to him. And
I mean,
he's on Raw to avoid this drama, and Roman would want to bring him back into the drama.
Well, here's the thing: is that Roman would probably be willing to say, "I'm sorry. Watch my back from go to war with me one more time."
I would dare to say Roman would tell Jey Uso, I acknowledge you. maybe not as
Ooh.
tribal chief, but acknowledge his work.
I mean, yeah, and he tells the same to Jimmy, and he tells the same to Sammy.
I don't think it's Sammy and
Oh,
definitely not Jimmy.
oh, no. I mean, I acknowledge you as my friend and my family. You know, Roman completely throws the idea of the tribal chief out the window.
Oh, he can't do that. I mean, that's
Oh
what
yeah,
he's fighting for.
he absolutely can. He sees now how this system is kind of it's kind of ruining the Samoan reputation. There's a lot more to come. This wasn't more than your average 6-man tag.
Yeah. Um I recently took a DNA test and I found out that I was 0.1 part Samoan. So
Yeah,
I will be joining the bloodline in the coming weeks. I will have to help my tribal chief.
you know what? I found out I am 2% Canadian.
I'm so sorry
So
for you.
I will have to. Uh, let's see, who do I have to help first?
You have to help everybody. You're a friendly Canadian now.
Hello, buddy. What's it all about?
Don't call me buddy, pal.
Don't call me pal, Glenn. You're such a dick. You're such a dick, Scott.
Yeah, let's not get into this. So, how many stars do you give this one?
Do I want to be nice? You know what? Fine. I'll give it 3.
I give it 3 as well. It did what it needed to do, and that was get Solo a title match. All right.
Well, I think the last thing we have to talk about, which we kind of skipped over.
Oh, that's right. John Cena retiring, right?
Yep.
I guess we have to kind of talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The man is serious. I mean, he's doing what kind of what Kijimuto is doing, but he's promising to actually make it the full year.
Yeah.
I mean,
WrestleMania.
No, it will go until December.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said he will go the whole year of 2025. This isn't something where WrestleMania will be the last. It'll just be his last WrestleMania. It'll just be his last Royal Rumble. It'll just be his last Survivor Series at SummerSlam.
So, if he's ending in December, we haven't had a pay preview in December for like the last 2 years. So.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they put together a John Cena retirement show.
Would that necessarily be as big as retiring at WrestleMania, though?
But you see, that's the thing, is that if he's already made the promise, and if he stops at WrestleMania, that hurts him, right, and his reputation.
No, I get that.
I mean,
So
there I think he's earned. I think he's earned it.
definitely,
Nobody has worked harder to get where they are than John Cena. And you know what? The fact that he never turned heel.
yeah. So that being said, who do you think would be his last WrestleMania match, and who do you think is going to be his last match? I feel like it's somewhere in there of a match between him and Cody has to happen, right?
Uh, I'm thinking unless they're really trying to save Punk and McIntyre for WrestleMania, uh, WrestleMania might be Cena and Punk.
That, I was thinking more Randy Orton and Cena at
Uh,
Mania.
here's the thing though. It looks like Randy Orton. It looks like it's going to be Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes.
At Mania?
Yep.
No, we're
Uh,
getting.
they,
It's gonna
they,
be.
they've started laying the foundation for Randy's attempt at a 15th reign.
I mean, yeah, Randy is going to challenge Cody at some point, obviously,
I
but
just don't want him to win a third Royal Rumble.
but I don't think it's gonna be at WrestleMania. I'm pretty sure The Rock and Cody is locked in for Mania, so I don't see him defending it
Oh
twice.
God, no! Oh no! 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 No!
Yeah,
No! Do Rock and Roman at Mania.
there's a reason that it's in Las Vegas, Scooter, and this is the reason. So obviously, we're going to get Punk and Cena at some point. Um,
Um, I mean, there's the there's a possibility that what if Cena actually does win the Rumble, and what if the question on everybody's mind is going to be, will Cena break the record?
no, he's not.
I have a feeling he will.
I don't think
Uh,
so.
I have a feeling they're going to go through some of his own opponents. I think there's at least one match with AJ Styles somewhere in there.
Oh yeah,
Um,
maybe AJ Cena for the last match.
that is a possibility. You know, I wouldn't even mind if they actually even did Rock and Cena as Cena's last match.
I don't think The Rock would do that, especially if it's in
You know,
December and it's not WrestleMania, and it's
you
not
know
the biggest match he could ever do in the whole entire world.
if Kurt Angle could still wrestle.
Hmm. Yeah, that's not happening.
Uh, I mean, no, I mean, watch it be Stone Cold.
God, no. Watch it be
I
Ric
mean,
Flair.
are we gonna try for dream matches? I mean,
Hmm. A match
you
against
know,
Nikki Bella.
uh, John Cena versus Sting.
Oh, come on. Sting is retired now.
No, he's just tired. Uh,
Yeah, I would agree with that.
uh, John Cena versus Darby Allin.
I think John Cena would actually do that match, but Darby would have to come to WWE to do that.
You know what? Screw it. Let's see Cena versus Nomichi Marufuji.
Ooh. Why am I saying ooh? Marufuji would beat the hell out of him.
Exactly.
Okay, I get you.
Um, I think Cena needs to get one back over on Austin Theory. I think he needs to get one over on Grayson Waller. I believe there's going to be a tag team match, Cena and Pat McAfee against A-Town Downtown, A-Town Down Under.
And Solo Sikoa at some point as well.
I think there's potentially a match between John and Sammy.
Oh, that might be something, yeah.
I would also say John and KO.
Yeah, possibly.
What? God, do you run me? You know, I'd say do Cena and Nakamura.
I kind of feel like it's just going to be, unless it's people he has gripes with, it's just going to be the old stars, which is Randy Orton, AJ Styles,
Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
yeah.
There's clearly a match with Gunther in there.
I don't see a match.
There's gotta be.
Unless Gunther wins, I don't see what that would be a beneficial match.
I think yes, we're probably getting Cena and Punk with how much Punk is mentioned. How much he's thanked Cena.
Right. That was the name I was forgetting. Punk.
We're not. You know what I'd like? You know what I'd really like to see? Oh no, we already saw it. Never mind. John Cena teaming with Awesome Truth again.
Yeah, because it was his childhood hero.
Despite the fact that R-Truth is like a decade older than John Cena.
Kayfabe, bro. Kayfabe.
God, should they do Cena and Miz one more time?
Maybe just as a farewell match. Yeah, for sure.
I would not mind if Cena and Miz was the last match.
I wouldn't mind that either.
Because with where Miz is now, he can do it, and at the same time, it will mean so much to both of them.
Right.
Because if there was no John Cena, there would be no Miz.
But we have over a year to
That's what's so exciting about it.
Yeah. All right. But just going back to Money in the Bank.
Oh, wait. John Cena versus Jon Stewart.
Oh, that match hasn't happened yet, has it?
Nope.
Actually, no. He attitude adjusted him, so.
Well, he needs to do it again. There needs to be screw it. You know what? John Cena and Adam Sandler against Jon Stewart and the guy from Green Arrow.
Stephen Amell?
Yeah, Stephen Amell.
No.
I
got it. I have it. John Cena and Vin Diesel versus The Rock and Roman Reigns.
Oh
it's a match
God.
of family.
Family.
Yeah, that's your last match right there. That's
it. But only if he comes out as Jacob Toretta.
I think we could make that work. And Jason Statham as the special guest referee.
They also need to do one more Southpaw Pro Wrestling thing with him as Lance Catamaran.
Well, if that indie Fed is still around, then sure, why not? Do you think we'll see, what was his gimmick name? The Machine again?
The Machine.
What was his name in OVW?
Doug Basham?
No, the prototype or the.
Oh, yeah, the Prototype. That's what it was.
There you go. And we have to see Duggonomics at least one more time. Do we see Ruthless Aggression, John Cena?
No. I see Thugonomics, and I see Thugonomics working with Otis and what's left of Alpha Academy.
That would be interesting. Again, we have a whole year of predicting.
The year of living dangerously.
There you go.
The year of Johnny Dangerous.
Managed by Paul E. Dangerously.
And you know what? If we don't, we need to see Cena's father one more time.
Oh, definitely. Right. Going back to Money in the Bank, the show as a whole, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
Thumbs in the middle, leading towards up. It was okay. It really could have been better.
I agree, but I'll still give it thumbs up. It held my attention. I enjoyed what I saw, even though not all of it was great shit. Alright, I believe that will conclude our coverage of Money in the Bank in this episode as a whole. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we interview Savannah Stone. This Wednesday as we interview Madness. And follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Twitter, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can we find Scooter?
As always, find me on X at Scooter Dust, and might be a couple of projects coming up in the works. Stay tuned to the social media.
Alright, for Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.